Hi, my name is Capri Carter. I'm the founder of Love You Like a Sister Worldwide. Love You Like a Sister Worldwide presents Awareness Counts. We will be paying attention to some causes that don't get a lot of attention, like Alzheimer's disease, drunk driving, donor transplant, and domestic violence. What is Love You Like a Sister Worldwide? Well, Love You Like a Sister Worldwide started off as a fan page that I created on Facebook. This was a time where I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to, nobody to depend on, and I want to express those things because I feel like it's got to be some more people out there that feel the same way that I do. So I created the page, added friends, and started just posting positive things on the page, telling people to share their story, tell what's going on, their testimony, and it grew. Like, we're up 750 something members now. I took a break from Love You Like Sister Worldwide, well, Facebook period, and my best friend, which is my sister, I say, Savina Reddick, stepped in, and she kind of made the group grow bigger. It was 500 people when I left, but now it's up to 700, and her, Shavita, Tasha, a lot of the ladies on the page stepped in. So I was like, when I got back on Facebook, I was so happy that it grew so much. Savina, we need to do something about this. So we sat down, we discussed some things like how can we make this group fan page go to something bigger. And we came up with Love You Like Sister Worldwide, future 501c3. I did a camp last year. They called me back this year, and it was so happened to be called Love You Like a Sister Enrichment Camp. So we were already starting something. I didn't know was starting to manifest something last year with the young girls, but I also want to reach out to women. So recently we had started filming Love You Like a Sister Diaries to incorporate women's stories, encouragement, and how they overcame things. And right now, this is a part of the process. Did you know that the Alzheimer's disease affects 10 to 15% of the nation's population over the age of 65, and even a larger percentage of senior citizens over the age of 85? Things to know. An estimate of fatal car crashes involved an intoxicated driver or pedestrian. The effect of drunk driving is devastating and could change a person's life in a blink of an eye. Domestic violence, how real is it? Let's see. In 2001, there were 13,280 cases of domestic violence reported by Memphis Police Department. By the year 2012, the number of domestic violence had increased by 6,528. That's 20,108 domestic violence reports reported to the Memphis Police Department. So, we did a little digging. We called. I want to know, has it increased or decreased? In 2013, the numbers were 20,149. We're only in May, and guess what? There have been 7,160 domestic violence reported to the Memphis Police Department. That's almost like 47 a day. And don't get me wrong, it's not just the male and female relationships, but also the lesbian and gay community. It has been an increase in women committing domestic violence also against males. Something to think about.
Hello, my name is Memphis. My story is, you wouldn't believe that I've actually been through 2 abusive relationships. I always contemplated talking to young kids and, just everything about being in an abusive relationship. Mine actually started at 13, and it went from 13 to 17 to 17 to 24. Just during the period of time that I was in this abusive relationship, my boyfriend at the time, I would rather not say his name, but he was very controlling, very adamant about me talking to guys, talking to girls, just having the freedom that a young child should have at the age of 13. Even though we wasn't sexual partners until like 4 years later, like the controlling pretty much was overbearing my life. Anything from the clothes I wore to the people I talked to, the friends that I had, the money I made doing hair, a lot of that set in, and honestly it made me feel some type of way. It took control of my life. It took part of me, part of my childhood. Pretty much the last altercation we had, you know, I'm talking physically abuse, blood, I mean swollen face, busted lip, the whole 9 yards. It was very dramatic, and I had to realize, like, why would he do something like this to me? You know, I just want to get away. And in the process of me getting away, I actually went straight into another abusive relationship without knowing. Pretty much I was 5 months pregnant. I was 18 years old, and it was the night of my high school graduation. Graduated, wanted to go out with my friends, and for some reason it triggered. Leaving the party, I got drugged, I mean down the street, busted nose, pretty much a black eye, and the whole nine. The only thing about that, I didn't leave, I stayed. I tell people all the time, if he hit you once, he'll likely do it again, and again, and again, and again. I'm talking about kicked in the back, kicked in the stomach. I mean, I didn't lose my child. You know, my son is 8 years old now, but those things pretty much traumatized me. It made me feel insecure in a way, you know, to be pretty and not feel pretty, or to be pretty and not know if this guy even wants you, you know, just by your past or what you've been through. The last altercation we had, I got bit in my back, my hair was cut, and I got through a gas table.
Memorial Day of 2003, I found myself standing in my kitchen, and my husband was on the floor in a pool of his own blood, and I had a knife in my hand, and my life completely changed. My daughter was 5 months at the time, and all I could think about was I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in jail. Because I didn't report that we had issues. And the few times that I did tell someone, they kind of talked me out of it and caused me to see that if I did tell, that it would affect my home. My husband had a history of drinking and fighting, and it was mainly outside of our home that he would get in trouble, but no one knew that we were going through these things inside. And being that he was a cop, he was able to kind of get around things, and no one really wanted to get to the root of the issue, because on paper he was a good person. On paper he did all the right things. Outside of his job, it was a different story. He drank to excess. He liked to fight. And to be honest, I don't believe that he was a bad person. I just believe that he made bad choices and decisions. And instead of standing up for myself, I allowed it. And Memorial Day of 2003, I could no longer hold on to the facade. So I had to really face reality and be honest with what was going on behind closed doors. And as things went on, you know, we just became another story, another case, another statistic. But when people started to realize that this was my life, this was the life of my daughter, and no one thought about the effects that it would have on her and on me. Everyone just focused in on the incident. no one thought to really get down to the root of the issue and how we got to where we got to.
In 2007, was in a domestic violence relationship. At the time, nobody knew what was going on with me. Not close friends, family, anybody. Because at this time, I was working in the music industry, modeling, doing a whole lot of things in the city. So I really didn't know how to tell people what was going on with me. Now, don't get me wrong, we wasn't fighting physical. It went from emotional, mental, to me almost losing my life. The first time it happened, he mugged me. My mother used to always tell me, when you get an argument with your significant other, one of you all need to leave. So I so happened to say something to his nephew, and he thought I was talking about him before I was leaving the house for the night. I got ready to go out the door, he mugged me. And I just pushed him and kind of blew it off and left. Some days went on. He still was so jealous. My phone would ring. He would have a fit. You know, who calling you? Try to isolate me from my friends and family. I was missing work. I was showing up to work late. You know, it was just basically it started off with controlling.
From 15 to 21, it was a very trying time in my life. I actually had children at that time. I had 2 children in the midst of me being 15 to 21, and that really changed my life. I had to think for my children at that point, so I had to remove myself from those situations, and when I did, it was kind of at a point where it had gotten really bad. I went to jail for being involved in a domestic dispute, and when I went to jail, that was something that I had never realized or never thought I would never think I would be in that place, and that kind of was a reality check for me. I needed to do something different with my life. So I got out of those situations, and I eventually moved on to be a mother, a student, a full-time worker. And although that seems like a lot, it was actually a lifesaver for me, because if I had not done those things, I would probably still be in those situations.
5 years ago, I was in an abusive relationship for 2 years. Basically, what I can say about that relationship is that it was miserable, it was depressing, and it was a very unhappy relationship. I was accused of things that I didn't do. I was abused for things that I didn't do. I knew that it was time to leave the relationship, but I only knew that I could only leave with God, only leave with the strength of God, and I knew one day that He would deliver me from it. About a year into the relationship, things got really bad. I was basically every day walking on eggshells. Don't know what to say, don't know what to do that might trigger him off. My only fear was losing or him taking my life away from my daughter. My daughter experienced some of the situations and some of the things that he did. My daughter experienced it. Basically, what I could tell anybody that's in an abusive relationship, get out as soon as possible before it's too late. And when you get out, please, I am begging you to never go back.
I'm now at the place that changed my life, the New L.Y.L.A.S Baptist Church. I'm about to go inside and show you how it has changed my life. Take a walk with me. My name is Tavina Reddick, and I am the co-founder of Love You Like a Sister Worldwide. My life changed when I started to truly worship God. I mean, truly worship God by laying prostrate at the altar, face down, submitting myself before the Lord. Just telling the Lord how much I love Him, and that not a day goes by that my love for God lessens. Throughout my life, I've dealt with a lot of things. I've dealt with issues of anxiety and depression. But since I started worshiping, my life has changed tremendously. I can't even explain how much my life has changed. I can remember when I was in my teens, 14 to be exact, I fell into a deep state of depression. My father wasn't there. My mom was always working. And the kids at school made fun of me because I didn't have the things that they had. I felt like no one cared about me. I felt like no one loved me. And I just wanted to die. But then I thought about my nephew. And I was like, no, I can't leave this world because I have to be here for him. Yeah, I thought about how me taking my life would affect the other people in my life, and I just figured they just have to deal with it. I mean, they weren't showing any concern for me before, so why should I care about their feelings? But when I thought about my nephew and my love for him, I couldn't do it. And I can honestly say that my nephew saved my life.
My life changed when I started loving myself. And I went through a series of situations where I was involved in domestic violence issues. And I really took away from myself by turning myself into someone who was appealing to the men I dated. After I got out of those situations, I began to do some soul searching within myself and eventually found out some things that I really didn't know about myself, and it actually birthed who I am today.
Hey, I'm Leah Long, and my life changed when I learned to forgive myself. Now, a lot of people say that you have to learn to forgive others, you have to learn to let things go, but nobody ever really tells you that you need to learn to forgive yourself. And let me tell you a little story about what I mean by this, and you'll understand. When I was 16 years old, I was raped and abused by someone I thought that I was in love with. I just say I was in a relationship with someone. And it took a while because I thought that I did that to myself. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm the type of person, I'm real feisty. I'm very in your face, direct, to say whatever comes to mind. So it's kind of hard for people to believe that something like that would happen to me. And because something like that happened to me, it took away all of my security. I felt vulnerable, and I vowed to myself, never again. Never will I ever feel vulnerable again. Never will I ever put myself in that position. And I harbored a lot of hate and ill will towards that person for, I would say, a good 10 years. After that, it was nothing but if I see that person, I'm going to hurt them. But the funny part about it is we stayed in a relationship for a while. It's not like I left because I was too embarrassed. I was too prideful. You have that sense of, what did I do wrong? What did I do to make that person do that to me? Or how could I allow this to happen? And it's embarrassing, especially for somebody with my personality. I didn't want anybody to know that I was weak or had allowed somebody to do that to me. So for a long time, I blamed him. It was all about, I hate him, I don't want to see him anymore. And I searched around to try to find my power, get my power back. And for me, that was through sex. I don't know how real y'all want this video to be, but I'm just gonna be honest. It was through sex, and sex wasn't anything to me but seeking power. So I sought power in being able to say, hey you, I want you tonight. Hey you, I want you tonight. Because that gave me this false sense of power. Because in my mind, every guy that I was pointing at and saying I want you was him, and I was taking just a little bit of myself back. Maybe, you know, not too logical, doesn't make sense to a normal person, but in my crazy mind, that's what I believed and that's what I felt, and I did that for a while. And anybody that I was close to afterwards, actually seriously wanting to talk to or in a relationship, I pushed them away. It was completely opposite. I didn't want to have sex with that person. I didn't want to be intimate with that person because that didn't signify love for me. It was all about power and who has the upper hand. So it took me a while to get over that. And it not only pertained to sex, but it also pertained to other things in life. Whether it's work, whether it's friendships, or any other type of relationship with a male. I always had that baggage, that drama. You know that song, Bag Lady, you gotta drop all your bags. Well, in order for me to drop all my bags, I had to learn how to forgive. And the first step of that was actually forgiving him. So I went through that step, talked to him, prayed about it, meditated about it, just had to really think about what he was doing to my life. The whole time for over 10 years, I thought that I was gaining my power back from him when actually I was giving him power for 10 years. He had power over my entire life for 10 years. And I say that because when you harbor ill feelings about someone inside of you, that person is controlling you. They're going on about their life. They don't even know that, you know, you still hold these feelings towards you. So if you have any type of hatred or any type of malice for anyone or any situation, you have to learn to let that go, because that will negate whatever positive things that may come your way.
My name is April Reeks, and I'm a rising junior at Christian Village University. My story is strength. Strength is not something that you're born with. It's something that you acquire over time through life's experiences and through certain situations that you encounter. You'll be surprised that at the age of 17, I became a parent of a parent. My father was diagnosed with a stroke my senior year of high school, and it's just me and him. So I had to pause everything that was going on in my life, and I devoted my time and my energy to making sure that he was okay, and his well-being is what mattered most to me. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing, because it showed me me. It showed me the strength that I had that I didn't know that I had. If someone told me that I'd be parenting a parent, I wouldn't believe it. Like, seeing someone so independent become so dependent and relying on you, it changes you, and it builds you, and it built me, and it helped me to realize I can face anything, and I can be unbothered by certain situations because I know who I am, and I know that I have the strength to succeed in any obstacle that I face in life.
My name is Courtney Taylor, and this is my story. My story is God is a keeper. He is a keeper of my mind. He's a keeper of my body. He's a keeper of my health. I grew up in the church my entire life, but I honestly didn't know God. I had been exposed to him, and I set out my senior year to find out who he was. I felt like if people, you know, were really into this Christian thing, there had to be more to it. And so when I went off to college my first year, I set out to find out who God was. And because I was so desperate to find who he was, the enemy was just as desperate to kill me and keep me away from him. And so as I attended Bible studies, as I was being poured into, he was working on me as well. He worked on me with bad relationships. He messed with me with lack of purpose. I was, going through a situation where I had all these different majors in college. I ultimately had 5 majors in college, but I finished it in English, but I was just going through different things, just into different places with lack of focus and lack of direction. And so the enemy really tried to discourage me in what God wanted me to do in helping me discover and define who I was. He tried to kill me with alcohol. I can remember times where, I was going out, partying a lot and drinking a lot. And one night I woke up in a closet and didn't realize how I got there. When I woke up that morning, had no idea who put me there, how I got there. And I think that was a point where God said it was enough.
In 2012, my life changed, I should say. It's funny that it's May 20th today because this is also the day my life changed 2 years ago. May 20th, I lost my grandmother. The closest person to me, my everything, the person that believed in me. I'm talking about when I first moved to Memphis, Tennessee, when people called me stupid, called me a bully. I was talking about all types of things I went through when I first got down here, from family to schoolmates, all of it. My grandma always still believed in me. Not only that year did I lose my grandmother, but I lost a cousin. We wasn't that close, but I had seen since I was younger. I lost Scooter. 2 months after that, I lost my Aunt Sweet to aneurysm. And on 2012, Christmas Eve, I lost my best friend. So 2012 was a very crazy year for me. I'm talking about, I lost a business that I was starting. Lost some family members because we fell out. Lost some friends. I just really thought I lost my mind that year. I didn't want to do anything. Everybody was against me. I dealt with depression. I dealt with suicide. I thought my world was over. And after that, I lost another cousin. We buried my best friend that Saturday and lost a cousin that Monday. So death was all around me. I didn't understand death because this was the first time I've ever really lost people close to me. After I lost my best friend, it made me think that I had to change my ways and change the things that I was doing and where my life was headed. It made me want to give somebody else a chance. I showed them the way, or not make the same mistakes that I made. So that January, I started working with a nonprofit as a program coordinator. Went back to school to LeMoyne because I felt like my best friend just lost her life and she had everything going for her. And here I was playing, and we have to cherish the time that we have here. So it made me want to change and do better. That summer last year, I did my first camp, Love You Like a Sister. That was one of my greatest accomplishments because I had so many people down the things that I was trying to do, down my dreams, down my goals, just making me feel so bad. And here I got this opportunity to start a camp for girls aged 12 through 18. And I actually had a group of girls looking up to me. And I was somebody's mentor now. So I had to stay on the right path. I had to keep going. And like I said, teach them not to make the same mistakes that I made. And from Love You Like a Sister camp grew Love You Like a Sister page on Facebook. And now Love You Like a Sister Worldwide, future 501c3. So I guess my story is to tell somebody else out there, you might be down on your luck, might be down and out and feel like the world is against you. Because it was plenty of times where I just didn't wish at night that I didn't even wake up the next day. If I was gone, who missed me? That's just how I felt because that's how bad and how hurt I was from my past. So after that, I reached out to one of my best friends. Been friends since the 9th grade. She's more of a sister to me than a friend. Tavina, she's co-founder of LYLAS Worldwide. And we started to work on some projects, and this is one of the projects right now, Love You Like a Sister Diaries. And future more projects to come. Better believe it. In the words of Boosie, we gonna show the world. Nah, just playing. Anyways, I just want you all to stay encouraged. Follow your dreams, follow your goals. Find that one person that believe in you. And don't ever give up.
My name is Michaela Burnett, and from my experience in Love You Like a Sister has been great for me because I learned a lot of things. Love You Like a Sister has taught me to love someone even when you don't know them. Like love a girl even when you don't know them as a sister. And it has also taught me to be better and not judge anyone by their appearance. Like when I first met Miss Capri, when I first met her, she was like a big sister to me because we can call each other and talk about things I wouldn't talk to my mom about. And I could talk to her like she's like my real big sister. And I love her for that.
My name is Shakira Jean, and my life changed when I realized that being a tough girl is not everything. During my high school years, people didn't want to talk to me or even associate with me because they felt like I was mean. I didn't smile as much. I didn't even talk to people. Last summer, I attended Love You Like a Sister camp. I decided I would take a different approach. I went in there, I smiled, I talked to a whole lot, and I actually made new friends. And now I have a different outlook on life. I am now about to be a senior in high school, and I feel that this could help boost my social skills as well as my self-esteem.
Currently, it's 122,503 people waiting on the National Donors List as of May 2014. Every day, at least 18 people die while waiting for a donor. Every 11 minutes, a new name is added to the list. As we was filming Love You Like a Sister Diaries, our co-founder, Tavina Reddick, received 2 phone calls of people wanting to donate to her brother. Let's check it out.
Guys, God is so awesome. I can't even begin to explain. I just received a call from one of my church members about my brother. Of course, my name is Tavina Reddick, and I'm co-founder of Love You Like a Sister Worldwide. We are hosting a fashion event entitled Awareness Counts, and we wanted to bring awareness to the subjects of Alzheimer's disease because our founder, Capri Carter, her grandmother suffered from Alzheimer's for a long time before her passing. And we also wanted to bring awareness to organ donor awareness. And right now in this moment, I can't even explain how elated I am, how excited I am that in the last 2 days, not only have I received 1 call, but I've received 2 calls from people willing to donate their organs to my brother, who is now on the transplant list. And I know that our cause and our faith is the reason for it. Awareness really counts. Once you get the message out there, people will respond because sometimes people don't know how to go about doing the steps they need to do to help others in life. And everything is just falling into place right now. Once you do things wholeheartedly, honestly, and once you walk in obedience to God, nothing is impossible. And I give all honor to God, and I thank everyone that has supported us in this journey with Love You Like a Sister. And I thank all the supporters of our event, Awareness Accounts. And I am honestly speechless at this point. And I just want to say thank you to everyone.
My greatest accomplishment is Love You Like a Sister camp. I'm gonna be honest. Love You Like a Sister Camp was not supposed to be Love You Like a Sister Camp. It was originally Bright Future Learning Quest. It was a camp that I created for kids ages 6 through 12, males and females. I was supposed to do it in the Memphis City Schools at Brookmead Elementary, but at this time, this is when the merger was going on, and I had a high school friend that I was reaching out to about her nonprofit. And one of my mentors was like, since you're already working with a nonprofit, why don't you change your camp to all girls camp? So I sat down with the young lady I went to school with about her nonprofit and said, hey, come on, let's collab together and I do the camp underneath your nonprofit. So that's how Love You Like a Sister Camp was created. It was originally for boys and girls, but it worked out even better because I ended up working with Just Care Family Network. And they called me back again this year. And this year I have 15 girls. And actually we're going on trips this year. We're doing a lot more than we were able to do last year. Last year, a lot of stuff came out of pocket. And it's just a blessing that they believed in me that much to let me do this. So that was one of my greatest accomplishments, coming up with the curriculum, the ideas, and just being able to say, I created something great. I'm a mentor now. I help change some young ladies' lives. And that was my greatest accomplishments. Now let's hear some stories from some other young ladies.
My name is Shakita Conklin, and I am an academic coordinator for the University of Tennessee Health Science Center Department of Health Informatics and Information Management. And my greatest accomplishment is becoming a first-generation graduate. Growing up in a single-parent household in an urban neighborhood, there were not a lot of examples of college graduates or even college students for that matter in my upbringing. But my mom, she was determined to see me walk across that stage. So I did what needed to be done, which included catching the bus and tutoring, working long hours. And I have to say it was truly a different experience for me because as a first-generation graduate, you don't get that support of a family who has experienced firsthand being a college student. So in that way, it was a struggle, but I made it through, and graduating was one of the best things that I've ever done. I'm actually back in school in a graduate program, working in higher education administration, because I believe in promoting higher education, especially in urban neighborhoods. I, on a day-to-day basis at my job, help individuals who are interested in getting into our program to overcome obstacles. I tell them how to get their financial aid, how to apply what they need to turn in, things of that nature, and just try to be of any kind of help that I can be, because a lot of them are just like me. A lot of them grew up in single-parent homes. A lot of them who are coming from families that don't have college graduates, so they don't have that example. They don't have those resources that some people do. I appreciate that struggle. I wouldn't trade it for the world, and this is my story.
I've been doing hair for 35 years, and I started out doing hair on my mother's porch, braiding guys' hair for $5 to help take care of us. And it's my passion, it was my goal, it was something that I wanted to do. And don't let no one tell you that you cannot do it if it's something that you want to do. I got married at an early age, and I moved away to Norfolk, Virginia, and I still stayed in the hair business and went to hair school. The military told us we had to go to California. I went to California, and I still went to Richards Beauty College. I still stayed in hair school. And I didn't finish hair school until I got here, because that was my passion. That was what I wanted to do. And after I got here back to Tennessee, I opened up my own salon. And I had my own salon in Millington for 15 years.
Hey, my name is Chef Kina, and my story is I started culinary school in December 2008, right when the recession hit. I was a single parent with getting no government assistance going to school. I don't live in Memphis. I was driving an hour and 15 minutes one way every day to go to school, just because I was determined to change, make a better life for me and my daughter. And while I was in school, I ended up taking up a part-time catering job. Still wasn't making enough money to get by. But I did have a support system of my family. So when I ended up graduating culinary school, I wanted to be known. So what I did was I started my first food showcase. I invited people from the media, people that had magazines, police officers, just public figures to help me get my name out. It was free. Everything came out of my pocket, and I'm still a single parent at this time. And when I had my showcase, I made so many contacts. I'm featured in BG magazine on the regular. I made dozens of contacts with people from K97, Hot 107.1, and I keep doing the showcase now to get other up and coming chefs to expose them. And the last one I did, I took 12 chefs, some of them known, some of them unknown, and we had this big showcase, and now everybody's business is booming just because I took my dream and I made it a reality, and now I'm helping other people make their dreams a reality, and that's my story.
My name is Brayden Ricks, and I am a rising senior at Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, majoring in biology with a concentration in pre-medicine. I started my own nonprofit organization while I was in college. The title of the organization is L.Y.L.A.S Incorporated, and the mission of L.Y.L.A.S is to cater to students who are disadvantaged and underprivileged and might not otherwise have a positive experience with science. So we counteract the stigmas associated with underprivileged and minority students by giving them scientific experience and exposure in a positive way. For my work, I have been honored as the first student to ever receive the Local Community Service Award that is bestowed to the honoree by the President of Spelman College and the Board of Trustees. I have also been featured in Ebony Magazine as a hero next door for my work with L.Y.L.A.S, and it was in the May edition with T and Tamara, and this is the page. And you can see I also have my L.Y.L.A.S shirt on in this article. When I was applying to colleges while I was in high school, I received over $1 million in scholarships. And this was very eye-awakening for me because I was a huge stress case. I did not know how much money I was going to get for scholarships, if I was going to even get scholarships for the schools that I applied to. But I prayed to God about it, and I just looked for a sign, and it turned out that I am going to college debt-free, and that's just a huge blessing. And I just want to say to people who may think that they won't be able to go to school without having to look for scholarships, to just apply. You never know what can happen to you, and that never be afraid to change the world, because the ones who actually are crazy enough to think that they can. My name is Brayden Ricks, and I am an aspiring physician.
Hi, my name is Star Murphy, and you will be surprised to know that it took me 27 years to have confidence, to be confident in myself. As an artist, an R&B artist, you have to have confidence in this business. And I didn't have it. I was too busy comparing myself not only to other artists in the industry. I was comparing myself musically, physically, even emotionally. I was even going as far as comparing myself to how, if you know me personally, you know I'm kind of laid back. And again, in this industry, you have to be, or at least they expect you to be this confident diva. And you know what? That's not really me. You know what I mean? I have fun and I do this and I do that. but that's not really me. And it took me, like I said, it took me about 27 years to realize that it's okay to be me. It's okay to be Star Murphy. You know, I can do this, I can do that if I wanted to. I can put on, you know what I mean? But the message that I pretty much want to send is that regardless of what type of artist you are, what type of genre you're in, you have to be confident, because believe it or not, if you're not confident, you can get on stage with the best production, the best show ever. But trust me, the people in the audience, they're gonna know. So yeah, just be you, you know what I mean? Be who you are, you know what I mean? If you, whatever you're doing, if you're enjoying what you're doing and you're really putting time and effort into your craft, of course, because it does take time and effort, just be you, you know, forget, you're gonna have fans regardless. People are gonna love you. If you continue to work hard, you're gonna be great. So you can't compare yourself. You can't bring yourself down by listening to the things that everybody pulling you every way, telling you should be this, you should be that, you're not good enough. You know what? Whatever. But with my newfound confidence, I was able to start my own label, 813 Music Group. And of course, the focus of my label, I want to recognize, and I do want to find some of the best talent there is. I'm working on that now. Right now, my label, 813 Music Group, I hosted my very first music and fashion show. It was called Ombre. A really good turnout. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, it just takes a lot of confidence. Of course, Star Murphy, I have new things coming. You definitely have to stay tuned to follow my new music. But with my new music, you're going to see my new confidence, you know. I'm just promoting confidence.
I came to Crescent my sophomore year. I was going to Georgia Hills Junior High School before. This is where I met this chick.
Hi. Now, aka Capri.
I'm Savina, by the way. If y'all didn't hear me before, now y'all know.
Yeah. We just wanted to bring you back to T-High when we first met, to show you true friendship, sisterhood. You know, it was just me, Savina, Tana, and Tweety, the young lady I talked about in my story that passed. We actually did a memorial for her for New Year's Eve here, telling people not to drink and drive. She was a senior class president, so we always want to show love to her and just let y'all know where we came from. Tresman was not one of the popular schools, but we made it.
Yes, we made it.
You know,
I graduated in the top 10% of my class, by the way. But
yeah, I wasn't in that percent, but I still did good. I still was a good student. But
this is where it all started, where we formed our bond. I can't remember ever calling her my friend.
Not at all. We was always sisters from the start. 9th grade year. I was here at Tresman from 7th through 12th grade.
Yeah, and when I came, no one knew who I was. So she was like, that's just my big sister. So they thinking I'm from New York or somewhere.
But we just where we started it. And, you know, a lot of people look down on Fraser, North Memphis. And a lot of great people came from this area. Actually,
school.
Officer Armstrong is over the police department. He graduated from Tresman High School. Yo Gotti attended Tresman High School. A lot of people attended this school are just from this area that, you know, people look up to. And we're just saying, just because you come from the hood or you come from humble beginnings and didn't have much, you still can achieve your goals and be whatever you want to be. Where you at, surroundings don't determine who you gonna be. Nobody can say, oh, just because you from there, which they tried to say because we was from Tresman or we was from Fraser that we wouldn't do nothing.
Like, we still made it, and we're doing very positive things in the community and with our lives. So like she said, never let anyone deter you from any dreams or goals that you have in life.
Shoot for the stars, past the moon, on up. But we just wanted to stop out here and like take y'all through our neighborhood and where we came from. Even though I'm originally from New York, Memphis raised me. New York, I was born in, but Memphis raised me and taught me a lot. And I've been through a lot. But I just want you all to know, it doesn't matter where you come from. Don't judge somebody by their past. Look at their future and where they're going.
Exactly.
Love you like a sister worldwide. Located in the Fraser neighborhood on St. Elmo. This place right here played a very major part in my life. It taught me to give back, help kids in need. I went to summer camp here when I first moved down here, 9 years old. Every day in the summertime, I was on one of these lines, singing sing-alongs, playing games. I went from there to volunteer counseling, also working. Community centers are a major part of some of these kids' lives.
Yes,
like,
they are.
You just don't know. It was guys that I knew that was in the streets, but was here at work every day, helping and giving back to the community. So I just want to stop back here and show a major love to North Fraser Community Center. Georgia Hills, Beck.
Yes, and I just want to thank North Fraser for offering a water fountain. That walk from Georgia Hills, anybody that went there, y'all know it got real, and this was the only place that we could come to get any relief. So thank you, North Fraser and the community, for offering that for us. And it also offered us a place to commune and get to know each other outside of school, and a safe place for us to hang out. So thank you.
And I just want to say a special thank you to Coach Tracy, Coach Tate, Miss Whitney, Spencer, who's the director up here now, community service, community affairs. You know, we need to keep our community centers open.
Yes.
Because we played a major part. Also, when I was working with the nonprofit, we were able to use a room here. So it is a resource for kids growing up nowadays in the city of Memphis.
And keep our water fountains up and running. Please, keep the water fountains up and running. They get thirsty.
Thank you for watching Love You Like a Sister Diaries. Hopefully hearing some of the stories of the other women in my story, we can help you overcome a situation. It's not the end. You can overcome it. Also, join us on Facebook and Love You Like a Sister group. We have great things on there, other stories and testimonies, and the website is coming soon. Love You Like a Sister Diaries is in the memory of Antoinette Smith and Jessica Banks. And also, I would like to say thank you to the city of Memphis. Thank you to North Fraser Community Center for allowing me to do this and represent my community. Shouts out to Coach Tate, Coach Whitney, Coach Spencer, Coach Tracy, Coach Ostie, because they played a major part in the kids in the community of Fraser, North Memphis, and Memphis, Tennessee. And you all are very appreciated. I've always done stuff in the community, but now my love for helping the community and helping people is stronger, because losing my grandmother and my best friend taught me tomorrow's not promised. Follow your dreams and achieve all the goals that you want to achieve. So that's my story, and I hope someone could look at my life and say, because I made it, they can make it also. And that was the whole reason of us doing Love You Like a Sister Diaries. So hopefully some of you all out there change your mind about suicide, depression, get counseling, get help, domestic violence, just different things that you're suffering with. I hope Love You Like a Sister was able to give you that hope.